Hey, church family, thanks for joining us for today's Daily Connection video. We are jumping in this week looking at John chapter 12. We're going to be talking about joining in God's work, being a part of what God is doing in the world around us, what Christ is doing in the world around us. And so we're going to jump right in here looking at a message or just a word that Jesus was giving to his disciples. And he's really begun to talk about his mission here on earth. He's explained to them up to this point that he's going to be crucified, although the disciples aren't 100% following, understanding all that. He's just recently raised Lazarus from the dead, and you would think that at this point, a lot of people would begin to believe Jesus and everything that he says and everything that he does because of the miracles that he's done. But it's really having an opposite reaction. And so this is what Jesus has to say. John chapter 12, looking at verses 44 and 45, it says, Jesus cried out, "The one who believes in me believes not in me, but in him who sent me. And the one who sees me sees him who sent me." Now, this seems a bit cryptic when we first look at this, but as Jesus continues on, and as we're going to look at over the next few days, the one who sent him, the one who they see by seeing Jesus, is God. And this is this would be kind of pointed towards those Jewish leaders and those Jewish priests, the scribes, the Pharisees, who were claiming that Jesus was not the Son of God. He has completed all these miracles. He has made clear who he is. He's come into the city and riding on a donkey, right? And he's with palm trees on the ground, and so he has claimed this royalty, not a royalty that the people necessarily wanted, but royalty in that he is the Son of God. And there were so many detractors, right? So many people who were saying, no, he's not. And so when he says that when you see me, you see the one who sent me. When you believe in me, you believe in the one who sent me. He's saying, when you believe in me, you believe in God. And when you see me, you see God. You see the Father. And this would have been, again, pointed at those Jewish leaders and those Jewish Pharisees who knew the law, who had obeyed the law, who claimed to know God through the law. These people were supposed to be the most religious. These people were supposed to know God the best. And they were saying Jesus was not the Son of God. And so Jesus comes right back at them and was like, to believe in me is to believe in God. Kind of saying, saying to these leaders, you don't really believe in God because you don't believe in me. Jesus is bringing this to a head, and certainly those listening who were not Jesus' followers, were not his disciples, they would have not been pleased with that message. They wouldn't want to hear him say, hey, you don't actually believe in the Father. You don't actually believe in God because you don't believe in me, right? That would have gone against everything that they had been taught and everything they were teaching. So their pride would have been kind of shut down. And so, in the same way, when we believe in Jesus, when we trust in Jesus, man, we are placing our trust in the Father, right? Because they're one in the same. And same when we believe and we trust in his teachings. But when we reject Jesus, just as these Jewish leaders rejected Jesus, then we reject the Father. We reject God. And I think we reject Jesus not just with verbally saying that we reject Jesus. I think we reject Jesus in our actions. I think we reject Jesus in the way we treat others or things we say to others at times. Not only should we mentally, right, cognitively say that we believe in Jesus, but our actions should prove that out, right? So we got a couple of questions that we want to look at here that kind of talk about Jesus being, right, he is the image of God and how they are one and the same and how we should react to that. The first question says, what brought you to the point of believing in Jesus, right? Man, your salvation story. I wish I could sit and listen to everyone who's watching this, their salvation story. It's one of my favorite things to hear, how Christ brought people to the Father, right? I love to hear that story and see how people go from darkness to light. They become a new creation. But man, that's that first question. What brought you to the point of believing in Jesus? And then the second question, how is Jesus the image of the invisible God? And we've talked about that some here, but in your own words, how is Jesus the image of the invisible God? I hope that reality is strong within you, something that you understand, that he is the image of the invisible God. He walked here on earth as the image of the invisible God. He exists even today as the Son of God, but also the image of the invisible God, that they are one and the same. When we obey, when we believe, we place our trust in Jesus, then we are doing the same with the Father. So as you are kind of thinking through those things, thinking through your own salvation story, how Christ brought you to the Father, I want you to know that we love you and we're praying for you.